Hey everybody, welcome to KimmelsIrishPub.com. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie is called Mayhem. I just lost it. But Mayhem, I'm going to tell you what that's about a little bit here. It's a virus spreads throughout an office complex causing white-collar workers to act out their worst impulse. The reason I found it has Stephen Yeun in it, Y-U-E-N, from The Walking Dead. Glenn from The Walking Dead. So if you watch The Walking Dead, this is where Glenn went. And it's supposed to be a horror, comedy, action movie. You know about much as I do, a little bit more to tell you. Rotten Tomatoes, 83% for the critics, only 66 for the users, and IMDb has it at a 6.6. So it's an hour and 27 minutes. So I'm not a horror flick kind of guy, but an hour and 27 minutes, you gotta watch everything. And tell you what, not a big time investment. So I'm gonna start watching it here and see what it comes out, and I'll let you know how it's going. I'll check in a little bit. All right, see you then. Hey everybody, time for a quick check-in. We're watching Mayhem. And we're only at the 38-minute and 18-second portion of the movie. So, like I said, it's a shorter movie, but I think I got a better grasp on, what's going on with the movie, so you can judge if you want to watch it or not. But as I read in the synopsis, there's this virus that gets into people and, lowers their moral barriers and, brings out repressed feelings, such as anger and stuff like that. So the setting is in a office building. So Stephen Yeun is a lawyer within a consulting firm, and and the other thing about the virus makes your one eye red, and they call it the red eye virus because that's what happens. But anyway, so he's in this firm, or this consulting firm, and he's a lawyer, and he's got a corner office. He's gone through promotions, whatever. And there was a major case that got messed up, and one of the other, I think it's the vice president of operations or something like that, is blaming him even though it's not his fault. So there needs to be a fall guy. They're going to blame him, Stephen Yeun, on this. So that's where that's all set up, and they're going to go ahead and fire him. As they're working through all that and going to fire him and things like that, the virus contaminates the building. And they have to quarantine the building, but now people are getting the red eye virus, so their moral barriers are going down, as you can imagine. And what a perfect setting for a virus like this is in an office building, where there's a lot of high tensions, a lot of things that you'd like to do if you didn't have any morals. And so anyway, they're walking him out as a part of the firing, and that's when they quarantine the building, and then they put him in, they lock him up, essentially, but now he's kind of plotting his revenge. Meanwhile, the whole office is kind of in mayhem, as the movie states. People are fighting and, doing things that they normally wouldn't do because the virus is encouraging that type of behavior. But, so he wants to get back at the people for firing him and blaming him, and he's plotting on that. So, don't want to go into too much detail, but now you have an understanding. I think it's going to be very graphic. I think the violence is going to be pretty bad in this, and we'll see where it goes. But I wanted to do a quick check-in. Maybe I'll stop in again before the credits. Maybe I won't. You have to stick around and find out. See you in a little bit. Hey everybody, we're at the credits. I know I didn't check in again. We came right to the credits. There wasn't much more to tell you that I already didn't share with you in the last check-in. Like I mentioned, he was going to work his way to the top and get revenge for losing his job and being framed, for that one thing that happened that caused them to fire him. So that continues to happen. One thing I might have failed to mention was that in the beginning, he's talking to a client about a foreclosure, and it's a girl, and he denies, helping her. And it ends up that once the virus breaks out, they end up in the room together, imprisoned by the people at the place there. But then from that, they become partners, and both of them were trying to get to the top floor in order to get to the bosses and things like that for their own reason. And of course, from that, very predictably, there's a little love interest happening between the two of them, as you can imagine. And there is some. I thought there was one good exchange between the two of them that made me laugh. When they started talking about bands, I won't ruin it for you, but that was kind of funny. There wasn't a lot of laugh out loud moments. I think they did go for a little bit of humor, but nothing over the top, except for that one exchange I did like. I thought it was funny. But, so much it was predictable. You got to figure, he was plotting his revenge, trying to get to the top floor, to meet with the CEO and the board of directors to plead his case and, and kill people, ultimately. It was very violent, very graphic. I mean, not very graphic. I shouldn't say that. I mean, blood and stuff like that. It wasn't like, like Walking Dead graphic where they're seeing the insides and stuff like that. But violent and bloody and stuff like that. Not scary or anything. It's definitely a B-rated type movie, and you could tell by the way it was filmed. Had a little bit of, I don't know if you've seen the Belko experiment, where they're very similar office setting kind of thing, and, the same type of, same type of feel to it. But anyway, so that's my synopsis on basically everything that happens. I enjoyed it. Only an hour and 27 minutes, so I'm gonna go with a 7. I think. No, I'm gonna go with a 6. I'm sorry, I was gonna go with a 7. I'm just gonna go with a 6. Very predictable, as I said. There was no aha moments or anything like that. But so that's it for that one. I don't want to go on too long. I think I've told you everything I need to tell you about this movie. Check it out if you want. If this is the kind of movie that you're interested in, I think I've described it pretty well. If it's not, understandable. These movies aren't for everybody, but I gotta watch them all so that you don't have to, or so that you know what to watch. Well, thanks for tuning in for another episode of KimmelsIrishPub.com and another movie review. Thanks. See you next time.